not seeing any trend. Having the ability to capture pressure in the form of a voltage and plot it on a lab scope over time allows us to see trends. More importantly, for the same reason we look at bids, you guys are looking at a scan tool. Do you like to look at numbers or do you like to look at graphs? I'm sorry? I guess, yeah, that's fair. It depends on what it is, right?
The graphs.
Yeah, well, so the graph will show you what? A history, right? If I turn around and go like this and you mash the gas pedal 3 times, if I turn back around and it's in numerical format, it's going to read closed throttle. However, if it's in graph format, it establishes a history. Also, what else can you do when you have 2 PIDs? Action-reaction testing, right? Looking at pressure in the manifold versus throttle angle, or RPM versus mass airflow output for volumetric efficiency. That's the same reason we like to plot pressure over time, because we can see these correlations and make assumptions on what's going on. I should say determinations, not assumptions, but what's going on without taking the engine apart. So it gives us a heck of a lot more than just peak pressure. It also allows us to work with other tools like cursors. So a scope does a phenomenal job of capturing voltage or whatever domain you're measuring over a period of time very accurately. So an engine cycle is how many degrees of crankshaft rotation? 720. So if I have 720 degrees of crankshaft rotation, and because I'm using an accurate lab scope with cursors, I know how much time it took to create that 720 degree crankshaft rotation. Couldn't I crunch some numbers and figure out how many degrees of occurring for every millisecond of elapsed time? I can do that. And now I can determine when a valve opens, or when a valve closes, or when a spark discharges relative to top dead center, or how long a valve stays open, meaning duration. So I could see worn cam lobes, and loose rockers, and bent rods, and timing being on. You see what I'm saying? That's why I like it. It allows us to make a preliminary determination on what's wrong with the engine without taking anything apart. Look at all the things it could show us. Valve sealing issues, compromised piston rings and or walls, damaged connecting rods, exhaust restrictions, heavily carboned or valve restrictions, monitoring camshaft phasing dynamically. We could see compromised valve lift and duration due to cam and or lifter failures, and ignition timing. All those things are easily visible through the eyes of a lab scope when you get comfortable with